If you remember last fall, we were planting a huge collection of bulbs here at our studio garden, and I promised you that once they started flowering, we'd come back and take a look at them. Well, a few are starting to bloom right now, so we'll just go through these and I'll show you the different plants we've got in here. This is one of the daffodils we planted. It's called Changing Colors, and it's a unique daffodil because the corona is split and laid open. So it gives you just a little bit a different look for a daffodil. And of course the plant is called Changing Colors because as the flowers age, the colors tend to change a little bit. So it gives you an added dimension. And like we were telling you last fall, if you haven't planted or looked through any of the unique daffodil catalogs lately, there's some really neat ones available these days. Right here is a small bulb we planted this last fall, and it's one of the fritillarias, and it's a small flowering fritillaria. You can see how the blooms kind of nod over a little bit. And this one is Uva vulpsis. We've actually had these in our rock garden for about 5 years, and they're doing very well. You don't want to smell of these flowers because they have a displeasing odor, but that's actually a good thing because it drives away the mice and moles and other rodents that we might have in the garden. But they don't drive away the deer, which is unfortunately what happened to this little planting of tulips. This is a tulip called Merry Widow. It's got the red and white colored flowers, and you can see here where the deer came in, did a little grazing, ate away some of the flowers, and even bit off part of the flower bud before it opened. So those have been affected by the deer grazing. Right here is another unique daffodil that I really like. I've always wanted to plant some of these. This one is called Rip Van Winkle, and it's got the double type figuration of its petals. It almost looks like a mum or an aster. The Rip Van Winkle daffodils. I can't wait to see these in a few years as they start getting a lot thicker and more flowers start coming up on those bulbs. Right here is a type of Gloria of the Snow, or Chiandoxia, and these are wonderful little bulbs that bloom early in the spring, and we could have created a really neat combination if we would have interplanted the Gloria of the Snow, this pink color, in with the red of the tulips, or maybe a little bit taller tulip, and would have given us a really neat layered effect with the two different colors. Well, right back here you can see another of the fritillarias. These are the Crown Imperials, and this is another bulb that I've been wanting to grow for several years. You can see the orange flowers coming on there. We've got one with yellow flowers in the back here that's just starting to bud out. But again, they have that odor that helps keep those rodents out of your garden. Well, right down here is something very unique. We ordered for the first time this year. This is a Grape Hyacinth that has yellow flowers. And really excited about these. These took years to develop. Different bulb breeders have worked on these for a long time. This one's called Golden Fragrance, a little yellow Grape Hyacinth. Then we of course have the traditional hyacinths right back here. This is the cultivar Carnegie, and it's one of the few pure white hyacinths. Doesn't have any creamy color to the petals, but of course the hyacinths are wonderful in the garden because of their very nice fragrance. Another Grape Hyacinth that has a unique color right here is one called Valerie Finis, and you can see this beautiful lavender color to these flowers. So again, you could take those and combine them with a different color because they bloom on a much lower plant, and you can create a really neat two-layered effect. Over here we have some more of the really unique daffodils that we planted. This one is called Spring Pride and has a very pleasing color. The fringe on the corona there is a nice apricot or peach color. And I have to admit, in the catalog, that looked a lot more like pink than apricot, but still a very showy daffodil. Right down here we have the Persian Fritillary, and I'm really excited about these plants. You can see that they're starting to form some buds, and I really hope these hang on. They look like they may have gotten some wind damage or maybe some cold wind damaging the flower buds, but hopefully they'll go ahead and produce those dark maroon or blackish flowers. So I'm really excited about the Persian Fritillarias. Right back here we have an interesting daffodil. This is Fortissimo, and this is the largest flowering daffodil in existence. Just look at the size of the flowers. And not only do you get those loud, huge blooms, but the two different colors really make those stand out. You get that pale yellow and then that dark yellow or orangish trumpet on the Fortissimo. Very large daffodil. Well, maybe next time when we come back, there'll be more of these in bloom, and we'll give you another update on our bulb planting.